when discovering a new city, as we're just talking, right, many overlook the local library.
Yeah, libraries are true hidden gems, and so many of them offer captivating archives and serene spaces for reading and learning. A new report by Preply has revealed the most popular libraries around the world, and in the top 10 is Seattle's very own Seattle Central Library. How about that? Joining us this morning to continue the conversation about this is Valerie Wonder, the regional manager for the Seattle Public Library downtown region. Valerie, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Nice to have you with us from the library this morning. And as we just mentioned, the library is a big deal, landed at number 8 on that list. Tell us what you think makes the library downtown so special.
So many things make this building and the services we offer here special. Obviously, the building itself is spectacular. It was designed by Dutch architect Rem Koolhaas, and it opened in 2004, which makes this the 20th birthday for the library. We'll be celebrating that in May, so it's a good time for folks to come visit if they haven't visited recently. When it opened, it was actually kind of controversial. Despite how beautiful it is, some folks were a little uncomfortable with it being a little different than what they imagined a library should be. But I love this space, the steel, the glass. I've worked here for 17 years, and I still feel a sense of awe when I walk through the space. And I'm surrounded by these 10,000 panes of diamond-shaped glass. It's truly beautiful. And there's some other really amazing spaces. Our red floor, patrons describe it. It has red floor, red walls, red ceiling. It feels a little bit like a cozy cave or a spaceship, or I've heard people talk about it being sort of like the inside of the heart of the library.
Wow.
And not surprisingly, it's where we get the most selfies. So we've been called the world's most Instagrammable library because of it.
I love that.
I was just going to say it is an Instagrammable place.
Very much
I've taken pictures in front of the library
I have too.
Aside from the library being beautiful, Valerie, and a great place to catch up on some reading, obviously, what other services do you all offer?
A lot of services, as you can imagine. This building alone has over 1 million items in our collection, and the system has answered over 400,000 questions in the last year. So those are people with questions about social services, help with their research project, a full range of information resources. But in this building in particular, we also offer some really unique things. And I can't talk about them all because there are so many, but just on our first floor, we've got a library within a library, a 15,000 square foot space that's just for children 0 to 12 and their caregivers. We have collections in Spanish, Chinese, Vietnamese, and many other languages. We have a lab that's for people with disabilities. And we have an auditorium with 275 seats where we platform community voices. Next week we have Susan Liu coming to talk about her book. And we also platform the voices of world-renowned authors and speakers. Next month we have Amy Tian coming.
So much that it's hard to keep track sometimes, right?
Exactly, and that's level 1. This is an 11-story building, so you can imagine times that by 10.
It is a lot. You know, it's been 4 years since the pandemic really hit around here. You know, businesses closed. We had social distancing was a priority to keep people safe. How did the library system get impacted by that, and how has it rebounded since then in these past 4 years?
Yeah, great question. One of the interesting impacts of it is that people stayed home, but they continued to read. So they were reading digital books and they were listening to audiobooks, and that has continued on. So we've really invested in that need because folks don't want to go back to hard books in every case. Foot traffic is down downtown, as you said, and so our visitor numbers are also down from where they were pre-pandemic, but they are ticking up. I think we had, most days we're having around 1,500 visitors. We also know that because of the pandemic, our homelessness issues in Seattle were exacerbated, so the library has really invested in our social services. We now have 2 social workers working out of this building, providing people in crisis with connections to core services, things like shelter, food, housing, transportation, and also just creating a space that's welcoming and developing a sense of community and belonging for everyone in the library.
I've always considered the library a safe space,
Me
for
too.
sure.
Yeah.
Valerie, just in case this interview
Absolutely.
wasn't convincing enough, what would you say to someone who hasn't checked out the library just yet or doesn't have a huge interest in reading? How would you encourage them to come?
Well, for the artists and art enthusiasts out there, we've got a gallery here. Right now we have an amazing partnership with nonprofit Path with Art. That exhibit is going on for another few days. Next month we'll be working with Real Change to have an art exhibit. If they're a musician and somebody's tired of them playing their saxophone at home, we have 2 of the only free music practice spaces in Seattle, so they should book some space and come on down. Please come to us. We have an amazing relationship with the community. That's one of the things that really makes us special. Seattle voters approved the bond that built this library. They've supported us ever since, and we are creating services and programs that respond to those folks' interests and needs. So come on down.
Valerie, it is a true gem in our community. I love the architecture of that place, just walking in and seeing all those glass panels. It's just remarkable. And take a selfie if you go down and visit the library. It helps spread the word about it, too. Thanks for your time this morning.
Yeah. Thank you.
Definitely a gem in our city, right?